Right, hello, cool. I'm back with more Planet Coaster because I was really enjoying playing it last time. Is this all working? It is working, I believe. Phone isn't working. Strange. I had a week off last week because I was playing Stardew Valley with my friends, and it's going to be a short one again. A short one today because I want to play more Stardew Valley with my friends, basically. But I want to keep doing some streams because it's good to do that. Yep, that's all working. Fantastic. Good. So, we're back in Skylands. Lava. We're working on Lava Land a little bit. And we were adding rocks and going to improve. Do we need to improve this too much? I mean, see, at the end of the day, more lava is more better. You can't go wrong with a bit. I mean, half of the queue is kind of relatively untouched. Like, you're just in a cave. There's no lava. The lava does look really good, actually. I thought I'd come back and it would look like crap. Come back and I really like the way it looks. It looks great. Does look bloody fantastic. Although this rock looks a little bit green and I don't quite know why. Like I should be fine. Bit less green. Yeah, it just looks a bit green, as if it's got a little bit of grass on it. Browser's encountered an error. Really? Really? Browser's not doing anything else. Don't know. I don't know. Anyway. So. What are we going to do? How are we going to improve this? I feel like there needs to be some rocks. Although I quite like the sheerness of this. Like, the lava just starts. Like, just got a slight bit of rock and then there's lava right there. I quite like that. I'm trying to think what else we can do to kind of make this look better. I think I was having a think. I don't know how much I like the underside of the island. I don't really think it looks... It could be like a spire, maybe, or something. I don't know. I feel like this bit wants to be a bit, sort of, a bit more mass to it. This bit is a little bit thin. And especially from this side, it looks a bit kind of scraggly. And doesn't look super interesting. And anyway, we can put a sign up there that says Forge on it or something. I don't know. Actually, that's something we can do. Chisel this a little bit, make it a little bit flatter. Or not, because... Guess I don't really know how the chisel tool works. I don't want it to be too rough. I don't want it to be too smooth either. That looks alright. I feel like we want to push this up a bit. So it looks a bit less... Ooh, that might look quite nice, actually. I've got an idea. Right. That's very pointy. Right. Rock, because it wants to just be rock, nothing else. Does it want to be connected? I think it does want to be connected. I think it looks better connected. Like, you go through a short tunnel, and there you are. You're into the land of lava. It's not a very big area of lava. Like, it could probably be bigger. Perhaps we could have some lava kind of dripping off the side. That would be quite interesting. Special effects, pyrotechnics, lava splash. Facing the wrong way. Rotate this slightly. Kind of. That looks bad. Don't like that. Lava pouring. Yeah, we just have some... Oh, we should definitely have some lava pouring off the side of this thing. I don't really care where it goes. It doesn't really matter. 100% there should be a big ass lava fall right here. If you approach it, you just see the lava. I don't know where it's going. It's kind of just falling off and maybe just disappearing somewhere. But I don't know. I think it'll look good. Don't want not quite that big or not quite that strong. I just a little bit. Right, certainly are gonna want to change this up to rock and maybe add like a big lava pool or something over here. I don't know. To make it so give the lava somewhere that it's coming from and somewhere it's going to. Easier. Go. Yeah, that's okay. There we go, fine. Right, then we just need to add... I can probably move that ever so slightly, to a little bit closer. A bit up. There we go. Right, let's put some... a couple of magma panels in here just so that we can kind of get a little bit of a base underneath the lava to work with. Maybe not quite that big. It's a bit too big to work with, I think. That. Just something to kind of add a bit of texture beneath the lava. And then maybe I think we're going to want like a small size. Oh god, that's way too big. Just a bit of a dip where the lava can kind of come out of, I think. Right, good. Then we want to get a nice sort of big lava panel. Yeah, it looks a bit shit, but that's fine. It will. It'll look a bit shit for now, but it won't forever. Don't worry. Rotate that ever so slightly so we get the right angle. That's a bit better. It still looks a bit crap, but that's fine. It'll look better in a minute. So we're going to put a huge lava splash under there. Nice. And we're just going to put a few do the larger ones kind of flowing down. Yeah. Give it a bit of a directionality to it, I guess. That I was kind of I'm hoping that the that thing will be hidden somewhat behind the lava. Right. No, that looks bad. What did I do with the other ones? Oh, they kind of all trickled down into rocks, didn't they? Move this slightly further back. Because the flow, we don't really want the flow to be obstructed by the rocks too much. Kind of do this to kind of obscure it a little bit, but we're just going to need to add more lava splashes, aren't we, really? That's the only way you're going to really obscure this effectively, is just with more particles, I guess. I wish these things were invisible, because they are the ugliest things in the world. I'll tell you what we're going to need to do. Definitely going to need some rocks on here. In fact, actually, that looks a bit weird. It's a little bit wider than the gap. Than where the lava is actually kind of appears to be flowing. We can cover up minor discrepancies with rocks, but only minor ones. Not so easy. Actually, that's a little bit obvious. Okay, we can cover that up with a rock. That's fine, or maybe even just some more lava. More lava will solve the problem, hopefully. Wrong kind of angle, really. A little bit more lava helps the problem. That looks pretty good. It looks pretty mean. It looks pretty lava-y. Especially from down here. Like, you can just see the lava kind of boiling over the side. Just needs a few rocks. That's what it needs. Needs some deciduous. Nature region deciduous. Working. Right, I just want to double check that it is working, because I'm always concerned. Yep, that looks good to me. Sounds good. It's working. So we're going to want some deciduous rocks. These rocks are pretty good for kind of defining the shape of the lava flow. And they do a pretty good job of it as well. I don't want to hide the lava too much from the ride, because obviously that's kind of part of the ride scenery, isn't it? But then you'll see it when you go higher up. Right, that's a large rock apparently. Yeah, I don't like the way that looks. Let's turn that off, because that can be a bit annoying. It can help kind of add a bit of variation to the rocks, but it can be a bit annoying to work with. There we go. Lovely. That needs to be a little bit tighter on the lava, because why would the lava not... I feel like it just needs to have the effect of the lava's kind of rushing up against it. Needs to be something else here, I feel like. I feel like that rock is too large. That rock is too big for that space. Sticking out too much. That's a bit better. I think it's a bit low. A little bit low there. Rotate it a smidge. Okay, it's getting there. It's coming along. Right, okay, good. It seems like there's a little bit there that seems a bit empty in terms of lavaness. Okay, good. How can we hide this? That's the problem. That's one of the biggest problems. Ah, lava plume. That helps sell the illusion of a big pool of lava. Sploosh. I don't like the way that rock is positioned. That's not too bad. It looks a bit big. It's a bit too big for the space. I think that's a bit better. Bit better, yeah. Still need to do something about that. The rocks are kind of imposing on the actual escape area of the lava, so it wouldn't make any sense. Even if it was splashing out that way, it wouldn't make any sense. I think that bar is pretty much hidden. Like, it is there, I know it's there, but you can't really see it. Like, it is there, it's in there, you can see it if you know it's there, but you can't really see it otherwise. Right, I think we need like one more lava fall coming down, maybe down from up here, down into the queue. One more sort of lava-y kind of volcano-y thing. I don't know what it's called. I guess it's a volcano. Where would it go? It would come down here, wouldn't it? Yeah. Why not? Why not, I guess. Let's get some lava, because lava is the aim of the game. Get a big, nice big lava plume. Lava plume would go straight up. It wouldn't have... Back to surface. Stop. Gonna need to do something about that, I think. If we just rotate this, we can kind of align the straight edge be slightly hidden by that. That's fine. That's good. Okay. No, I think that's a bit big. We just want the slightly smaller ones, I think, to kind of do this job for us, I feel like. We'll have to slightly adjust that one because that looks a bit weird. Okay. Don't like the way that is. Oh god, this is... Problem is, these really aren't designed for this sort of thing. They're more designed for what I've done with the path, which is like a flat surface. They're not really designed for making lava falls. Just need to add. We just need to add more lava splash. Yeah, that's really poking out, isn't it? Just stick a whole bunch. I had to put a rock there or something. Right, let's get this. And then... What, a couple more, I think, aren't we? Yeah, probably. Just to kind of get that edge. I wish these things, the actual, just like the thing itself was much smaller. Like it doesn't need to be anywhere near this visible. Like you don't need to be able to see the source of these effects a lot of the time. It's just unnecessary and it's just annoying having to deal with them because you have to try and hide them. Because actually they are bigger than the effects themselves in some cases, where you have to kind of combine lots of them to even think about, to even come close to covering it. Like, look at this, look. The effect isn't bigger than the emitter. Right. Is this going to work, or do we want the other ones, like the smaller ones? I think this could work. I like the idea of the wall of lava, although the problem is this beam is so high up compared to the effect itself. Oh. Ah, that's how you're meant to use this thing. That's how they're meant to be used. Okay. Okay, fine. Good to know. Good to know. Slightly lower that down. The only problem is I have come across the issue where the flow is larger than the hole. But now you can see these emitters poking out. I want to pull this out just a tiny bit. Oh, not quite that much. Do I undo those terrain changes? Because okay, I can. Right. I don't think that's the right tool for the job. I think the lava pouring large is good enough. I need to turn this down. It's really loud. Actually, it's really loud, I think, in general. I'm just spraying lava everywhere. Some more lava splashes in here. We could put some vertically. Because the particles are affected by gravity at least. It would kind of add a bit more to the output. It looks alright. There just needs to be a bit more kind of splashiness here. I'm guessing the lava falling. That one isn't affected by gravity, which is a bit weird. Everything else is. Like all the other lava stuff is. Maybe he doesn't want to. Maybe don't want a big one. Just want like a small one. Just to occasionally set out, like give out like a bit of a plume. Rotate that around. These things are so ugly. I don't understand why they are so ugly. Oh, that looks a bit busier. Maybe a bit lower so that it's kind of a bit more in the little valley thing. Maybe we can put like a lava plume in there as well, just because I think it's still not quite low enough. Well, at least that one isn't. How's that? I think it just needs a few rocks and it'll be okay. Maybe we could just stick some rocks in there. Maybe that will help. We stick some of the smaller rocks. We can kind of cover that up. problem is it's just not really enough of enough lava kind of flowing off the thing. I know I can't find the flow emitter, which is nope. Perfect. Can see it. I can see the lava coming out. I don't see where it's coming out of though. It's in this pile of things here somewhere. There it is. And it can come much further forwards. I feel like we could duplicate this. Yeah, that looks dumb. In fact, that whole thing there looks a bit dumb. It's just too small, especially for the amount of lava that's there. It's just too small. Let's it's a bit in the rocks right there. I feel like that looks a bit better. It's not perfect, but I think it's better. I think we can definitely we lower the intensity. We can push this back just enough to kind of have it make a little bit more sense. I mean, it is a little bit flowing onto the path. Perhaps we can rotate that ever so slightly. And maybe move it a bit to the left. Still, it's kind of flowing onto the path a little bit. I don't think that's a big deal. But I think it's important to try and make it. There we go. It's a bit better. I think. I think that's a bit better. Let's get some magma panels just to kind of add that base layer in. Base layer of lava. Just need to be able to see that really. So that in the moments you can see through the lava, you're not seeing rock. You're seeing what looks like lava. You could definitely probably get another thing in there. See the corner a bit too much there. Perhaps if we rotate this slightly, we... You know what? It's not perfect, but it looks good enough, I think. I think we just need a few more rocks. Well, I say a few more. Some rocks around this, and it will look pretty good. Let's put some big old rocks in place. That makes it look like the lava is being influenced by the position of the rocks rather than just randomly. So the more dense and hardy rocks are kind of directing the lava down that route. Now that looks dumb. That's overhanging too much, I feel. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Maybe we could do with a rock up here. Perhaps one more here, maybe? This looks too flat. I need it to look less flat and boring and kind of more intense and rocky and like maybe I should just throw a few kind of rocky collages around here, maybe with like just like a lava pool that's not necessarily flowing down. We can just stick a big old lava plume in there. Stick a lava plume in there. Lovely. Probably go a bit lower. There we go. Adds a bit of intensity to that bit. Makes it look less boring. I think I really could do with a bit more roughness to it though, couldn't it? This looks too kind of artificial and handmade. Or brush made, I suppose, is probably a worse look. Oh, I've made a hole. Sharp edges. That looks good. Sharp edges will look better on this. Yeah, that does look better. Those kind of edges look so much better than just having the sort of the smoothness that was there before. I don't think it wants to be quite that kind of chunky. Looking a bit better. It is looking better. Now that we've got a couple more lava falls in place. The queue is generally looking better. I feel like there can certainly be a few more things we could do with it. It doesn't look incredible. Like, it looks okay. It looks pretty good. It doesn't look stunning. And let's align to surface, because otherwise it'll look a bit weird. I'm going to stick some large rocks in here. Because why the hell not, I guess. Just need to make it look a bit less rushed. You know, I want it to look more handcrafted and like genuinely rocky. That just looks weird. That just looks like there's just something sticking out the side of it. I think what's missing from this is a sign. I think. Also a bit more small, intense roughness. What have I just done? Oh, I'm inside the other island. Basically, this entire place wants to be kind of this version of stone, not the other one. Really. Ah, that's not what I wanted to do. That is not what I wanted to do at all. I just wanted to give the grass greener look. That's all. Right, I'll tell you what we need to do is we need to improve this bit of path here. This bit of path like is really kind of out of theme. Like I mean this island looks pretty flat anyway, because it is flat. But this path needs to kind of show where it's going a bit more, just from its scenery and decoration. Like some big rocks. Big rocks are always the solution. Certainly in this case, because considering the place it's going to is made entirely out of rocks. So I'm thinking a rocky archway would look pretty cool. That does look pretty cool. That rock is a little bit low for their heads, but that's rotate this around. And it's fine. Wonderful. Lovely. Now you've got a nice little archway leading up to the Rock of Fire and Doom, I guess. That rock looked a bit weird. Rocky archway. Maybe we need some lava here. Maybe we need some... I think this needs to kind of come around a bit further over here. It's a little bit too small at the back. So maybe we need just a bit more kind of rocky support underneath. I've just noticed that I've got 3 of the same kinds of rock, and you can really kind of see it. You can see the same pattern like 3 times. I wish there were more rocks. There needs to be like 10 more different rock types would be fantastic. Right. Again, I thought it's a different one. Haven't. There we go. The rock should come all the way out here. I think they kind of should. I feel like... I just feel like that's what they need to do. Keep starring them, I don't mean to. Yeah, that looks alright. Might change this up to be kind of like this. Where the rock is. Just so that it kind of ties it in a bit better. Right, okay. Oh, there's a... Definitely could do with some rocks under there. Okay, that's clipping. I don't really want it to clip. Not through the path, anyway. Clipping through each other is fine. Just not clipping through the path, because that looks bad. That looks all right. It could certainly be better, but it looks okay. What else can we add to this to make it look better? It feels bare to me. It just feels a bit bare. Like, obviously we can just add rocks all day. But I don't think that's going to necessarily solve the issue. Another hour. That's good. Yeah. I don't think adding rocks all day is going to necessarily solve the issue of it looking a bit bare. Just because obviously I can't... because the path is floating. There's just this void that you kind of cross here. And... yeah. How can we make that into a feature? That's the thing, because at the moment it just looks empty. So does this. Like, this is okay, because you're kind of going from one place to another. I was like, oh, look down, you can see nothing. Look. Wow, that looks cool, the shadow. The castle. Yeah. I think if we kind of buff out the scenery on this island, it will look a bit more in place. I think part of the problem is this island is very empty. Yeah, immediately that's made a difference. Immediately, just adding a bit more scenery to this part of the terrain looks a bit better. And definitely need to add a few bushes in, I think. Or like just the odd bit of shrubbery maybe poking out in the rocks. But immediately that, I think, has improved it. It just looked a bit bare. Now it looks less bare. This still looks bare. I'll tell you what we could do. This one. Does that look dumb? Yeah, it kind of does. But it adds a little bit of texture to the roof of that, doesn't it? I don't know, we'll have to come back to this, I feel like. This is going to have to be a come back to it later and improve it later. Just had a thought. Spikes? Maybe? Maybe? Like, spiky rocks? Not quite sure. I don't really like that, to be honest. Over here. Gonna be messing with other stuff, but that's fine. It seems to be fine. It's not very accessible, this park, to be honest, because there's just a lot of stairs. Getting up to the park is stairs. There's oh, that's a ramp. That's fine. But getting up here, stairs. Getting up there is accessible, but you're not going to get up there without stairs in the first place. So, yeah. God, that looks so... You can really see the repeated texture there, can't you? Like... Can you see it? The problem is, you really can. Like, there's a whole section here where that's all you can see. I tell you what, we could put on this bit. Actually, I've just had a really cool thought. About what we could put. We can put something along here. Just get rid of that. Cut that off. Oh, didn't want to flatten that, but fine. Right, then we just... Then we get some big oak trees. So, got these like oak trees floating on these tiny little islands. All by themselves. And I think it... Oh, that was quite nice. And I think it will help... It would help obscure that as well if we put some on the other side. Push that out. Clear this away, because... Oh, there's a random bit of terrain. Right there. Right, get rid of that. Little bit of noise. I think we also want to push the... These islands I think are a little bit big. We don't want them too small, but we don't want them too big either. And then oak trees. Look at that. Look at that. That looks really cool, doesn't it? Just got these floating trees. You can see the roots through, you know, sticking out of the rocks. Oh, that looks really cool. And it really nicely obscures that a little bit from this angle. But you can still see the mountain. The mountain is a work in progress, I guess. I'm not going to touch it. I want it to be like a big volcano, dragony mountain. But the problem is actually the height limit is really low. Like, the terrain height limit. Terrain height limit really isn't much higher than this mountain, which isn't really much higher than that. So I thought the terrain height limit was going to be much higher, but it's so insanely low and it's frustrating. Just kind of need, like, I'll tell you what this game could do with would be some erosion tools of some kind, because it would be really nice. I want to sharpen this edge a bit so it looks a little bit less brushed. But it would be great just so you just have some erosion tools. Like, basically I want to make a mountain, so I just say I'm going to pull up a whole bit of terrain here, but I want to do some, I want it to have some kind of deposits on it, like water erosion kind of patterns down it. That's kind of what I want it to do. I kind of want this, because this looks terrible. It looks really kind of blobby. I kind of want there to be, I want to like erode down like a valley, like, because it looks so blobby, doesn't it? That's the problem. It looks really blobby and kind of messy. And it's like, mountains just aren't. Mountains are like sharp and tidy. They don't look blobby. They kind of have sharp, pretty sharp lines. Like, it's not like a blobby mess. It looks, because at the moment it looks like it's made out of something really soft that's just been kind of molded into shape. Which is not really what I'm looking for. I want it to look, because I want it to look like a volcano. I think this game would really benefit for some like just erosion tools. Like, yeah, this just like you just run an erosion algorithm over an area. Like, it would have to be like a thing that you do and then it get like a loading bar and then it does it. It wouldn't be something that would do it live because that would be complicated. And I don't know if that would work too well. But I think it would be really beneficial for complex terrain. It's like, it's high hydraulic erosion, where water is carried or liquid is carried. Like, actually, that could look worse. 100% could look worse. A terrain averager would be pretty good as well. Like, for these sorts of for this sort of area, I'd like a terrain averager, something that will kind of average out the terrain for me, kind of, so I can kind of get rid of some of the blobbiness. That's what I want to see. I want to see, like, because these terrain tools are great. They're fine. Being able to move more mass would be more useful, but I want to just see some automated terrain tools. It's kind of coming along. This side is still really weirdly blobby. Got a flat face. Do you care too much about that? Problem is, this side of the mountain. See, there we go. It's all getting. The top gets quite blobby. These tools would be very good for, like, making, like, a tentacle kind of structure, I feel like. Actually, I feel like that certainly could look worse. Roughen up the surface a bit might look alright. This looks a bit kind of wavy. Yeah, it could look worse. I think it could look worse. Still working on it. I kind of want it to be like Dragon Mountain or something. Right. Right. Where are we going next? What's happening next? What's the plan next? I don't know. Obviously we've got this nice little central area. Lovely. You know what? That could look worse. I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking that looks like a mountain. This looks too flat. Better? It's a bit better. It still looks a bit... The textures are still really repetitive. But that's unfortunately just a side effect of video games. Textures are repetitive. One day, there will be a perfect simulation of this sort of thing. And you would have terrain that looks realistic as anything, and there's no repeated textures because it's all simulated, and it'll look amazing. happy with this for now. I think it certainly could do with a revisit at some point. 100%. It could do with a revisit. But for now, I'm happy with it. I think we should expand out things a bit more, maybe in a different direction. Maybe we should go with an island a bit lower down. Problem is actually, because of the height of the terrain and the maximum height of the terrain, there really isn't much space to work with in terms of floating terrain. It's like you can either be, you've kind of got this much space, and it's not a lot. If you're trying to get some terrain height variation in there, there's not a lot of space to work with. Let's have a think. Let's get some other rides. Let's get another ride going, because that's a good place to start. I think roller coasters should come later. Like, it'd be a good idea to have a roller coaster, but they should come a bit later once there's more islands, because it'd be fun to kind of have roller coasters wind around islands and staircases, and it would look incredible, I think. The Screaminator, you're already high up in the sky anyway. You're going to be even higher. I almost want an upside down Screaminator, where you you start off and you fall through the island and then you come back up again. But then you obviously don't get the anticipation that you would get. That's sort of like part of the ride, is the fact that you get the anticipation of the ride going up and before dropping. Sunflare. Shit, that's tall. It's also the size of that island, pretty much. What else could we have? I suppose we could have some small track rides. Like a loggers. Like a, what's this, a log flume? Or some go-karts. Oh, Rolling Rapids. River Rapids, Rolling River. Ooh, might be quite fun. Like, but then the idea is you need a mountain in the sky. River Rapids take up a lot of space. Go-karts. Go-karts, go-karts, Ghost Train. I don't think there's enough. Ghost Train is the right kind of thing. Maybe we could go with a small coaster, something that's like tight-knit on a single island. That might be quite a challenge. If we went with like a had an island, I'll tell you what we could do. I've got an idea. I say tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start building my idea, and then I'll make my decision whether it's a dumb idea in a minute. So, I want to make a big old sphere. As best I can, anyway, make a big old sphere. Like a big old island, I guess. Something big, huge, massive, basically, is kind of... I think actually massive is the right term. Something with a lot of mass. Something with just a large mass of an island. Very big, yeah. It looks big. It's not that big when it comes to roller coaster rides. It'd be nice if I could make a sphere. That would look cool, I think. I've got a really cool idea for a roller coaster, but whether or not I can pull it off and make it look great is another thing. That'll do, I think. That'll do. No. I almost am going to want this to not necessarily be floating, because I kind of want more space than I'm going to be able to have in a floating island. Like, maybe I should go underground. I don't know. Yeah, that mountain is not very big. We're gonna want something flat to work with, though. Actually, it's actually a bit lower than that. That's fine though. I have an idea. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it justice. I'll give it a go. Give it a go, because it would be fun. I mean, I'm on Sandbox. If this all goes tits up, I can just delete the whole thing and just move on and do something else. Hypercoaster cannot invert. Chain. I was something that can invert, probably. Invincible Giga Coaster. Partially invert. Eel coasters. More filters. Main game. Yeah, I want to be able to filter for inversions. Launched. I don't know if I'm not going to be able to do this idea justice. Nah, I don't think so. Problem is, I don't think I've given myself enough space. I'm trying to think. Be the best way of doing this. I'm trying to think about how I can make the station look, what I could do with the island to make, because I could just stick this down and be done with it. I can always adjust the island, I suppose. That's always something I can do. That's not a problem. I think we'll go with this one. Make the station a bit longer. Utilities, basic track. This island is not very big when you look at it. Like, space underground is massive. Like, there is so much space underground. It's ridiculous. Like, you can build so much underground. Whereas this is really actually quite a small space. It feels like for a roller coaster. Very dark down there. Very dark. It'd be nice if I could... I'll tell you what would be really cool, as in terms of a terrain tool, would be for me able to lock this area so that nothing I do, brushes, will change that. Because I'm worried that I'm going to be playing with the terrain over here somewhere, and I'm going to be like just pushing it and pulling it and playing around with it. I'm going to bring the brush over there, accidentally like just get rid of a whole bunch of terrain that I didn't mean to get rid of, and then everything's suddenly floating or looks terrible. Track. So this is a launched coaster, right? Okay, not that much. Drivetrain, friction wheel lift. Friction wheel lift. Product speed. For the drive tyre, create dual stage launch. Right, we're going to launch into the optional catwalk, auto tunnel. Start test. Let's see if. Oh, I don't. I've got no idea how this coaster works. Well, that's obviously not the intention. Isn't to just kind of fling it straight into the side there. Shorten this out a little bit, I think. I don't know. Zoom. That's got a lot of fear, but that might have just been because it crashed. I didn't actually pay attention to that. Was there a lot of fear because it crashed? Or was there a lot of... Oh, I need to turn off track support. Is this just going through the terrain? Is it not trying to tunnel? No, it doesn't care. It's just going through. Okay. Alright, fine. Don't think it that wants. God, that looks utterly terrifying. That that section. Ten fear. I think what it will want to do is it will kind of probably just want to come in, do a sharp bank, like a really long sharp bank. Whee! Oh, it just goes out the terrain. It just flies out. I think the fact that it's not connected to the ground plays a big part in this, in it not connecting properly or not needing to tunnel. But actually, we do want it to tunnel. We're not. I think we can deal with it being less. We don't need such a big radius for the tunnel. Oh, okay. Where's that going? Actually, haven't got a clue. That looks terrifying. I've got no idea. You kind of come in, then you kind of go... 11 fear. Okay. Maybe that's a bit much. Oh, the problem is it doesn't... You just delete the track. It doesn't delete the tunnel. You have to undo the track. got a lot of fear coming in through here, though. I don't see why there's so much fear. Like, you're just going up at high speed and then you'll slow that down again. I suppose I can see kind of why. If you're going up at high speed, you'll have to come down at a high, won't you? Is 9 fear too much? Undo. How fast is 31 meters a second? Well, that's pretty scary. You know, you think, oh, this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. At wall, okay. Thonk. Straight up. I want to level it out. I want to level it back. I don't really know. This isn't quite what I had in mind. I'm just playing around with it at the moment because I don't have that much time. Just playing around to see what I can see. What would be quite fun. In a surprising amount of fear. You know what? I don't like it kind of sticking out that much. Kind of like the idea of it kind of just sticking pretty close to the surface. Oh, this is gonna be cool. Hang on. Come in a bit tighter. Eight fear. This is probably. I can't imagine it being that scary. I mean, how fast are you really going coming up? Coming down through. Oh, well, you're coming in pretty close to that rock, I suppose. That could probably be a little bit on the scary side, I imagine. Just crash into the thing. Look at it go. Look at that. That's such a lovely smooth curve, isn't it? Like that looks like it would want to be I suppose the right amount of curve for it to feel amazing as you kind of went through there. Like you kind of want you'd want the feeling of kind of soaring, I suppose. But that looks, I bet that's really fun, honestly. Like, I bet that's really fun. Because you're just kind of, you're not doing anything too intense. As far as I'm aware, I don't think it's, to me, I don't think that it looks particularly intense, but it might actually be in reality. That could be like a really intense ride in realistically. Okay, that needs sorting out a little bit. Okay, well the specifics of the curve, I think, need to be updated, but need to be fixed, because I feel like the curve is a little bit jaggedy. I think we just turn angle snap off. I don't tend to do that, but I want it on for the banking, because that way it's easier to tell what's going on. Right. It's not coming around sharp enough. It needs to come around, it needs to come around a bit sharper. That looks really smooth. Previous piece. Oh, did it run out of steam? Was that what happened? Did it run out of speed? I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just making it up as I go along. This isn't what I had in mind. The idea I had in mind, I think, would be better served underground rather than above ground. I think a roller coaster that kind of soars is what you want. I would be very surprised. There's no way it's going to make that, considering it'll be going back higher than it came from. Okay, so just stick at 30 to bring it around here. I'm not very good at designing coasters, but this might be quite fun to ride on. Some people are so fantastic at designing coasters. They know exactly what they're doing. They kind of have I swear they plan these things out in advance. What's like the fear? Why is it on 10? Like the fear rating of this ride is ridiculous. What's the speed? 43 meters a second. What's 43 meters a second in something a little bit more readable? I can just change the unit in game. I was gonna have a look. Speed unit miles per hour, because that's the best reference I have in real life. Edit track. Speed. All right, let's watch it again. Around it goes. $80 miles an hour. Okay. I mean, that's going 70 miles an hour. That goes from 21 miles an hour to 68 miles an hour. That is a really hard corner right there. What's G's? 6 G's on that corner. Yeah, no wonder this thing is outrageously terrifying. I guess I misunderstood the speeds. Okay, I'm going to give up on this because... Okay, never mind. I'm just going to delete this. I'm going to just delete this and we'll come back to something like this another time because it's going to take too long and I can't be bothered with it. You know what? I think I'm done. I want to go play Stardew because I said I would, and that's what I want to do. And I've kind of run out of ideas for now. I'll have to think about it. Maybe I'll just do some. I'll just have a think about the roller coaster and outside of this. But I think I'm done anyway. So I'll be back on Thursday. This week I will try my best to be back on Thursday. But yeah, so I might play something different. This is fun, but I might play something different, like Transport Fever. Or maybe I'll just start my own Stardew game. I don't know. We'll see. I've been wanting to play that a lot recently. So, yeah, I'm back on Thursday. Thanks for sticking around. And I'll see you then. Bye.